This plant looks really dumb.
This plant is like our third host. It's been in every episode. What do you mean it looks dumb?
Should we put googly eyes on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have some?
I'll get some.
Okay.
Custom ordered.
All of this is called LoveHeals.
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 LoveHeals. LoveHeals.
No one should have to walk through hardship alone.
Guys, welcome back to the LoveHeals podcast, stories and strategies from founders, healers, and innovators, redefining how we care for ourselves and care for each other. Wait. Oh, sure. Go ahead. That was my finger.
Cheers.
Massive thank you to Christine Avery, our season 2 sponsor.
Yeah.
If you guys are looking to buy or sell a home in the Lynchburg or Richmond area, Christine is your gal. Big fan of Christine. Anyways,
Biggest fan.
biggest fan. We are her fan club.
Yep.
So, our last episode of the podcast that we did, I'm just going to go ahead and like pull up a little screenshot of it.
Why?
So you guys will have seen that probably by the time this one comes out.
That would be how podcasts work.
That would be how podcasts work. We are midway through June. So we actually took a couple weeks off from the podcast on accident. And part of that was because we moved and I lost my SD card in the move for like a week and a half. So the podcast was lost in the ether of my new bedroom. So found it and we're getting things rolling again. And so I think we should wrap May a little bit. And then honestly, I think we should, because you and I are both in a similar space right now, I think we should just talk about burnout. And just be, because we've never really shied away from being real.
What?
In these spaces. I know. Isn't that crazy? So I think we should just kind of like talk about it unless something else comes to your mind. That was my thought process for today.
Great.
Awesome. So May. How'd you feel about May? May is our, if you don't know, May is our month where we have a donor who matches all new monthly donors that sign up in May for a year. So May was very full, and then we ran right into June because ambitious us in like a couple months ago us, when we thought we could handle everything, February us, we were ready to freaking go. And we scheduled 8 events in May and then 4 events in June. So we are tired. Anyways.
I'm not tired.
I am tired. It's just me then. That's fine.
Yeah, you're alone. Sorry.
You're not tired?
No, I'm pretty tired. But I'm like a different kind of tired. Like my
soul feels tired,
exactly,
dude.
Exactly.
Well, my body also I accidentally turned off my alarm this morning and then I skipped the gym because I thought we were coming here at 10 and we bumped it and then blah, blah, blah. But I have not been able to fall asleep the past, I don't know, like 2 weeks, like at a good time. And then it's been obviously really hard for me to get up. So my sleep schedule is a little whack and I'm just like beat. Like the other night I was up till 3, just like in bed.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it was I am tired, and then my internal is kind of tired. I've kind of switched into like a little numb, but we can talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about May.
Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about May.
I know my
brain's
brain's all tired.
I mean, May, I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy May ever because
Me either.
Because I don't like asking for donors. I don't like it. It's not fun. I don't have a good time. I did have fun that one day when I was like hyper sarcastic and I was just like trolling people to ask. That was fun. I was like,
did you get any donors from that day actually?
From text messages, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But like that, like honestly, it was just like so funny to be like, good afternoon. I know there's nothing you love more than giving your hard-earned money away to somebody else, but here I am asking for it. Like, if I can be that, then I enjoy it. But that's not the strategy to acquire major donors, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I am still learning how to maintain authenticity while also developing a certain type of candor or whatever is needed to...
You say the word candor?
Is candor not the right word?
No, it is. Sorry, you said candor. And I got very confused.
Oh, well, my bad.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. I didn't hear the rest of the sentence.
Yeah, I really threw you off with my vernacular, huh?
Yeah.
Duolingo. Anyway, so I am still learning at what point do you have to button up your messaging. I don't know. I don't know how to be different than what I am. But I do think there is a certain amount of wealth in this town that only is distributed to people of a certain, like, I don't want to say demographic.
Tax bracket?
I don't think it's that either. It's something in the way it's message delivery, it's verbiage, it's mission, it's old school, it's tried and true. So I don't know how much it's worth us buttoning up and polishing a message to acquire that caliber, or, you know, because we talk about personas with Rob, or we talk about, I don't know. I mean, you have all these like marketing terms, and I think they're helpful to understand your demographics and who you're talking to. But at the same time, like, I just don't enjoy it. I just don't enjoy being a different person. And I'm not saying that other people who do that are. It's just, we've talked about this. My brain is very like, you're either this or that. And it's very hard for me to hold nuance when it comes to, like, for myself. Like, if I don't like someone, it's really hard for me to like even be in the same room. Like, it's like, I can't really walk those lines very well. I tend to just like separate hard and fast. So this could be just something that's stretching my brain and my wiring of how does it look to hold on to yourself while also being kind in that you're giving a message to a person in the way they can receive it. Like, that's kindness. That's not fake.
No.
So anyway, it probably all goes back to intention and heart, but May brings all that up for me. So ta-da.
Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, May shuts me down. I think it kind of shuts down my like creative brain. It's like a different kind of pressure. Like when we fundraise for people, you and I both do a lot better fundraising for people because it's easy for us to talk about like why someone should donate to someone who's ill or someone who needs it. And my brain just like really shuts down in May as far as functionality. And I feel that rolling over into June. Like, I'm having a really hard time switching back over, I think, into how I function pre-May and then post-May. And I don't know how to reset that. I've been trying to figure out how to reset it, and I haven't been able to do it yet. But maybe I haven't been trying that hard. Yeah, I just feel like we got no reprieve in the middle. But I don't think you need. Sorry, I'm switching back. My brain is really all over the place today. But like, I don't think you have to. Well, one, you shouldn't change who you are because you shouldn't. And then two, I think that we just haven't figured out how to get our version of messaging to people who understand our version of messaging, purely just because what you were saying, like Lynchburg is such a specific town that I just don't know if our messaging works.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
New York.
That is actually what has been said multiple times from multiple people from multiple different like ages and like backgrounds. Like, if you can do it here, it works anywhere.
That is the resounding thought process about Lynchburg, is that like it's just hard. Or like Mickey has stepped on as our director of advancement for LoveHeals, and she's helping us with some strategies and some
development.
And, well, I'm trying to think, like, she's going to help us with a bit of a restructure, nothing crazy, but she's learned, we're seeing her learn in real time how hard Lynchburg is, which has been interesting because she'll kind of throw out an idea and we're like, cool, that doesn't work here. And then we're on a call with her and someone else on Friday, I think. And it was again, what if we did this? And the other person was like, that would be awesome. Doesn't work here. Works anywhere else. I can take it anywhere else. Like, that is the resounding thing in Lynchburg. And I don't know, like, at what point is that ever going to, do you think that would ever change in Lynchburg? Or do you think that's just what Lynchburg is? Like, even the amphitheater, I think, is struggling here.
Well, yeah. I mean, everything's more complicated than it seems. So that's like one of the fun things about doing is you get around people who are dreamers, which I am one, but I've also learned that like dreams take steps and like you see all the pitfalls as you go. But people will say, oh yeah, we're gonna do this event and it's gonna be blah blah blah. And like, how many times has someone come to us with that idea or that concept? And like, I hate to be this person, but I kind of am, where it's like, if they succeed, I'm gonna be so mad, because it's like we've struggled, and I hate that. But that's just like an honest look at where
I had that recently.
My heart posture is sometimes, and then they end up like, it doesn't flop, but it's like never goes. Like, they're never, either they end up not getting it off the ground or whatever, and it's in an annoying way, but a human way, affirming to be like, okay, it's not just us. Thank God it's not just us. And then it gives you like more compassion on not only others, but yourself to like go out and try things.
Yeah. Well, and we don't see, so the other thing I think about Lynchburg is that, or at least in some of the spaces that we're in, and we are changing that a little bit, as far, not we're changing something, but it's shifting within some of the spaces that we're choosing to put ourselves in. But because a lot of those maybe bigger organizations or bigger companies don't talk about the flops, and we do talk about the flops, it feels like no one else is struggling or treading water quite in the way that we are. So then when we see it, at least this is how I feel. So then when we see it, it's very validating that it's not just us, but it's because no one really talks about that as much.
No one talks about it in general.
No one talks about it in general. And then social media is so toxic because people put out like, oh, we had this event and it was well attended and here's blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and someone asked me how one of our events was yesterday. And I was like, horrible for me. Like, so it's just, it's very different in the way that we talk about it. And I think that it's good that we talk about it, because hopefully that will encourage other people to like just be a little more real in conversation. But it also makes it hard when it feels like we're the only ones talking about it. It feels very isolating. And I think that's another trend that I've seen in Lynchburg. So
I don't think Lynchburg needs to change though. I think, but I also think it's important to hold out hope for places to become better versions of whatever. Like maybe they never change into embracing whatever different or new thinking, but maybe they become better in what they do well already. So just holding out hope for the city. Yeah. But also like, I just go back to like, it's our job to respond to people with what they need, not create what we think it needs. So it's like a constant experiment to figure out what do people want and how do we give them more of that. And it's just observation, and it's also relinquishing, you know, ego and control of thinking, oh, I know what's best, or I know what would be cool. Like, maybe you thought it was cool, but maybe people don't get it. But the problem is, or the challenges with that is like, you have to try something long enough to make sure it's not just, well, people didn't hear about it, or, oh, you just like your messaging was confusing, because it might not be that they don't want it. It might be that they don't understand it. So then you have to,
or that they didn't see it,
or that blah, blah, blah. Like there's a million factors. So that's where it's like, you can't just try a couple things a couple times. You really have to grind through it and figure out, where are people responding? Where are people confused? Where are people excited about the concept? What are people experiencing when they're there? And kind of finding the proof, the burden of proof. Where is it? And then building off of that.
Yeah.
So like for me, a burden of proof is that everybody who's come to a show, not everybody, that's super dramatic. Let me back it up. But like a high percentage, and maybe we need to start tracking, but a high percentage of people who come to events are moved to get involved further. Whether it's volunteer, whether it's, I mean, we have so many people who want to support. And again, it shows a lack in our infrastructure, or a weakness, is that we don't have an ability to mobilize people in the way that they could be. If we were able to catch the people who come and are excited or moved. I mean, how many people have you seen be emotional, or like talk to a storyteller after an event, or talk to an artist, or create a connection? And it's happening all the time. And so that to me indicates that we're on the right track. And then it's just, you have the uphill battle of funding or exposure or all the other things, infrastructure.
What would you want to do differently about May next year? About our month of doubling, our chicken month?
More chickens.
Like, I know that you're serious.
I'm so serious.
I am aware.
I think we need to partner with a local farm. I think we need real chickens involved. I think we need to surprise the world with how many chickens we get involved.
We either race with live chickens, or we partner with a place that sells chicken as a food, but I don't think that we can do both.
I'm feeling wrong about Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
So I think we should keep them alive as much as we can. Yeah. But yeah, okay. I think we just like really hone in on that. I mean, that's
the only thing you would do differently next year for our like biggest fundraising month, is you just want us to incorporate live chickens. That is the biggest feedback that you have after we did a month of like 8 events and stretched ourselves incredibly thin for events that were supposed to be easy, and we both felt burned out. But your one takeaway is like, we should have live birds.
Big Bird could be involved.
I'm serious. I'm like trying so hard.
I really think just more chickens. Honestly, I'm not even joking.
I know you're not joking, but is there anything else?
I mean,
that's it.
To be honest,
we also learned that May is like a really horrible month to be events. Doing stuff.
Right. It's Mayvember. So I think like as far as the strategy,
it's
Maycember.
You said Mayvember. That would be November.
Okay. Whatever.
It's
tomato. It's all the same.
Hang gliding, hand gliding.
Potato. It's all the same. Anyway, no, I think we need to get with Mickey about like actual outcomes. Like,
I know, but like I'm asking, you know what? Never mind. Let's just
Sarah,
move on.
I don't
along.
know. All I know for sure off the top of my head right now,
more chickens,
is we need more chickens. I want, like, they need to be everywhere. Like, partner with the city to create a speed bump out of rubber chickens type thing, where you like drive over it and it makes that noise. Guerrilla marketing, or as Amy calls it, tiger marketing, because she didn't know what guerrilla marketing was. I just did this for so long.
You did. I was trying to like tune you out. Truly, it was like, oh, man.
Anyway,
I actually was thinking about a speed bump made entirely out of rubber chickens, and how I would go to any lengths possible to avoid that street.
Why?
I'm listening to music. I've got the windows down and I'm driving, and all of a sudden I go, like that would just kill my vibe a little bit.
It wouldn't kill my vibe. It would be incredible.
All right.
Come on, that's funny.
It is funny. Yeah, we can partner with the city.
They also have
would love
like
to do that, I'm sure.
You know, like races you can do where you like drop a rubber chicken with a number on it into like the river, and you race them down the river, and then whoever's
like the duck thing.
like the duck thing.
That I'm so
That's what I'm
down
saying.
for.
We just need more
not
chickens.
A speed bump. Okay, June. We did a partnership with Trailhead. We're dead in the middle of it right now. To do one event every week, every Friday in June, helping a different family with a different band. So we went straight from May, where we did a bunch of seemingly low impact events, but they definitely took a toll on both of us just because of the actual, showing up, being present, turning on your brain, fundraising, socializing. And then you hop straight into June. So we literally had a week in between. And I think, again, and we talk about this a lot, but my biggest thing was like, how do we promote without like overlapping on the other event and confusing people? And I think we just have a lot going on, maybe too much, but I feel like I was in a solidly good flow somewhat for events we had pre-May. Then I personally feel like we didn't prep for May probably as well as we could have. I feel very unprepared this year. Mm-hmm. I felt way more prepared last year.
It's because we did less last year.
Yeah, but I still feel like, I don't know. It feels different, and maybe I just don't have verbiage for it right now, but I do feel like I kind of was okay leading up to May. We got into May, felt like I was treading water. And there's a certain burnout that comes, at least for me, and maybe this is where, you see it, either this or this, and I kind of live more in that nuance. It can be both area, but I feel like there's a different, well, this might sound contradictory to what I just said, but there's a different mindset in burnout for fundraising for ourselves and trying to make sure LoveHeals stays afloat. And then there's a different burnout for doing events and chasing people around event wise and pushing stuff for the storytellers and venue stuff and setting up for event. Like, to me, it's the ops side and the program side burnout, and they feel very different, and they often overlap for me. But May felt like a very ops heavy burnout, and now we're switching into like events that are for people, and I'm still burned out, I guess. And I kind of thought I would switch back, and I don't know how to switch back.
I don't think you switch back. I think you recover. I don't think there's like a switch. I think you just have to recover, and you can't really recover at this current moment because we have to finish out commitments. Mm-hmm. So yeah, to me, they feel similar. I think they just fed into each other. Like, so to me, it's all one and the same. It's, and burnout's like a normal conversation, especially in America with the hustle culture that we have. So it's pretty common to talk about. Some of it's like disconnecting from yourself, and like, at least for me, getting lost in the doing, that I disconnect from me. Mm-hmm. And then when you disconnect from you, so for me, it's like, I'm realizing like when I'm disconnected from myself, I go to social media a lot, and that might feel good for that dopamine hit, but it doesn't actually satisfy like the issue that's going on, or like going to escapism or whatever. Like, you're not actually, it's like a false rest. So when I get stuck in a burnout pattern, I lose the capacity to connect with myself. And then the more I lose the capacity to connect with myself, the more I indulge in things that don't actually restore me, which then keeps me in that pattern. And then the more tired your brain gets, the harder it is to sit down and reconnect with what your soul is asking for, with what your spirit's asking for. Yeah. Because it requires capacity to be able to do the things like slow down and think and intuitively listen. What's your body asking for? What's your brain asking for? What's your heart asking for? What's your spirit asking for? Like, if you can sit, but you have to break this is for me. I don't know if you're having that, but for me, I have to break off wherever I'm just like feeding into my own self loop that I can feel isn't bringing or producing anything good. Like I can tell that waking up in the first thing in the morning, scrolling Instagram is not producing good in me.
Really?
But I also don't have the capacity because I'm tired to know to break that. So anyway, that's why I think it becomes this like self cycle that people get stuck in, because it's kind of like the people who graduate college and they're like panic and they're like, I'm going to go get my master's, because they don't like, you just panic and kind of do the next thing, even though you might, if you're like logic brain knows that's not good for me or that's not necessary. But yeah, anyway, does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't know how to, I think my brain is overtired and it's starting to catch up with my body. Like, yeah, I definitely felt like I was fighting like a cold maybe 2 weeks ago. And I think it's literally just because my body is exhausted. But yes, I get what you're saying. I don't know. Like, I can't tell if I feel very, I can't think of like, I'm struggling. I feel like very, oh, actually, I guess I do know what you're talking about, because I feel very detached right now. And you were saying like you're disconnected from your body. Okay. I've been internalizing it as I'm just feeling numb. And to me, that's different than detached. Like numb is still present, but dulled, and detached is like removed, obviously. So actually, yeah, I think I'm feeling very detached, which is making it hard for me to identify any of the areas that I need to make those shifts kind of back into whatever, or like do the healthy things. So yeah, actually I do know exactly what you're talking about, and just everyone saw that in real time, me figuring it out. Ta-da.
Bing, 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 bing.
One of my rare external processing moments.
Right before your very eyes.
Marked the hour.
Yeah. So anyway, just like figuring out how to, well, it's not figuring out really anything. It's just, again, data collection. So
do you feel like you've learned anything from yourself in this season? That sounds cliche. In this like past couple weeks that we've been navigating this.
I mean, there's a few things. Like, I'm learning to not panic and to trust the process more. I'm learning to not look at what people can give me, but what can I learn? And that's very different. Like, how can this person, like one angle my old angle would have been, how can this person get me closer to my goal? But now it's been like, how can I learn from this person so that I can get myself closer to my goal? Does that make sense? So it's very different. So it's like, no longer am I looking for the easy way, because there is no easy way. And I've learned that that's just a lie. Like, there's no one coming to save the day. So it's like, you really have to take accountability and ownership of yourself and say, what am I going to do? What work am I going to put in to become a person who can handle blank, or a person who can hold blank, or a person who can navigate blank? And like, how do I get around people so that I can learn that from them, not have them give me a handout or a cash or this or that or whatever. It's like, yeah.
Well, I think something like EJ was saying last night, was, oh gosh, how'd she say it? It was obviously going to be more eloquently said than how I'm going to butcher it, but like saying that, trying to not look at people as what can they teach me or what am I getting out of them. That's kind of what she was saying last night at some point. And that reminded me of,
I think she was talking about God.
No, she was talking about like, she said something like relational. I'm sure she was also talking about God, but like something relationally. Well, maybe it was either way. It reminded me of, and I don't remember who said it, but you reiterated it, and like praying into when new people come into your life, what's the purpose? Like, what's the purpose of your relationship with that person? And I think that's very different from what can I get from this person?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or like what you were saying, how can this person get me closer to my goal is very different from what is the purpose of my relationship with this person, and how God's brought them into my life, and then how does that make us both hopefully better. I think that's different from like, what am I supposed to like get from this person?
Yeah.
What is my purpose?
One's
with
a
this
curiosity
person?
and one's like a hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need you to feed this in me versus I'm curious about how I can grow from your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, what I'm talking about more is like ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm learning to take more ownership. Like, it's not your responsibility to get me to my goal. It's my responsibility to, if I so choose, pick up the tools that you are showing me and then do the work. And you're going to show me what tools to use. But it's like not up to you to come in and save the day. It's up to me to do the work, to learn.
Yeah.
So it's just like more ownership. And so anyway, yeah. And there's just, I can't tell if my like lack of stress, because we are very close to our 3-month reserve cash policy. So that means like it's time for some real discussions on, you know, are we going to dip into that? And if so, how long of a runway do we really have? And I can't tell if I'm not freaking out because I'm just like apathetic, or if it's probably a combination of a bunch of things. So it's probably that burnout side, which is the apathy. But then I also have this like piece of, I know it will work out. And like, I just have learned that I can't freak out and expect things to work for me. You know, I can't just like run desperate into a place and be like, you have to help us, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't think desperation is the right way to look at it. But it is like, here's like where it's all nuanced though, because then it's like, but it is desperation that pushes you to try things that nobody else would try, or that you normally wouldn't try. It is desperation that makes you ask the question or ask the company that you normally wouldn't. It's like, so somehow the two work together, where it's like, maybe desperation or coming to the end of yourself is what puts you in those positions to do the things you wouldn't normally do. But you don't position yourself in a place of desperation, if that makes sense. You're in a place of peace and calm that it will work out. Does that make sense, that both exist? Okay.
Yeah, I think, and I don't actually know any of the rules of chess. But I feel like maybe it's like when you kind of know you only have one move left, but it's still calculated, right? Like it's not like a desperate Hail Mary. It's like this is what has to happen. And there's a processing, and there's like doing all the mental math of it, and then making the move. But it's not this like panicked. It's like actually thinking through it and knowing what's the best move to make. Like Jenga. I do know the rules of Jenga.
Like Jenga. Well, I was going to say, like last year I was trying to get tour sponsors, and I'd been trying to get bigger donors. And then like, there's so much like information coming at you all the time. You have to do it this way. You have to do it this way. You have to do it like this. This is the right way. That's the wrong way. Blah, blah, blah. This is too low of an ask. This is too high of an ask
right now.
This is that. Blah, blah, blah. And you're just like constantly getting inundated with information. And then you try things based on what you think is expert advice. And then it's like, hold on, I need to be realistic. So like one of the advice pieces was to ask for more money. Well, that's fine. That's fine and dandy and good to make those big shot asks. And you should, in the right circumstance. So the more I thought about it, the more I was like, we just aren't worth that right now. And that's okay.
Yeah.
What I am worth is people giving me $100 to go on a tour logo or to put their logo on a tour banner. And then I got how many logos? Like 25?
Yeah, you did a killer job with that.
Within a couple of days. Just, and like, so anyway, that's that mix of desperation pushed me to just start asking everyone, but it wasn't like, but I was going to be fine either way. Like I didn't need them to come in and solve all of our problems. I was just throwing out the ask, and desperation kind of got me to the point of like, I'm tired of trying to do it this way. So I'm going to do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Yeah. I was thinking like, last Friday or on Friday, we had a lot of, for me, I actually don't know how you felt. Did you feel like good after our meetings on Friday?
Yes.
Would you like me to remind you what our meetings on Friday were?
I was wondering if you should give context.
I don't know. It's all so up in the air. I felt very deflated by Friday because I felt like we had two what I would equate to like good meetings, but both kind of contradicting each other.
They were
in the span of
a couple hours. There was a meeting in the morning that was very pro one thing, and
right?
A meeting in the afternoon.
And
that
I don't think it's worth sharing because it's so like.
I know. I'm just trying to set up. Yeah.
And then we also had an event that night, and my brain was also scattered because I had to like go pick up a bunch of stuff for print, and we were hanging out with a friend that night, and like, so just a lot of things. And so I literally, my brain could not process. Oh, and I had a random meeting in between, like a marketing thing in between, and my brain was just not able to was not able to do it. And I felt super deflated after the meetings on Friday because it feels like, it was two things that contradict each other pretty immediately, and they both made sense. And I was like, cool. I don't have any capacity to process or think or discern. And I actually, when we were at our second meeting, I like feel like I have it. I'll look at you a little more because you keep somehow getting further away from my line of vision. Okay, thank you. I feel like my discernment isn't working. And I realized on Friday that I feel like very off kilter with that. Like, I feel like my one thing is broken. Because we were asking, because Rob came to one of the meetings with us, and I was like, what were any flags, any thoughts? And he was like telling me all his thoughts. And I was like, oh, I missed that. I don't miss stuff like that. And I was like realizing that I think because of where we're at and because so many things are like flying at us and conflicting, my like discernment is almost turned off. Because we're just taking information like out of a fire hydrant. So that was annoying to realize. I got all pissed off. And then I kind of forgot about it because we had to run to the next thing. But yeah, I feel like my like one superpower is a little dulled.
Yeah, I mean,
don't like that.
That's just an indicator though. It's like an indicator light.
Yeah.
It's not gone forever, just for right now. So but that makes sense. I mean, it was contradicting the two meetings, but I think because I stepped so far out, I see how they tie together. And I see, I just I'm like, okay, with that affirmation from the second meeting, I see how we have at least one more year of not worrying about what the first meeting was about. At least one more year to place down this brick, and this brick before we get to this whole other thing. So I kind of saw it as affirming because it didn't mean no. It just was a not yet.
No, so. And I agree. I feel like it all made sense. And I also agree that it's not something we need to worry about now. But I think because my brain doesn't do the big picture. It was my brain having to switch from like big picture to what does that mean right now? What does that mean on Monday? What does that mean tomorrow? And yeah, I'm struggling to nail down what the next thing is. And maybe that'll shift after June. All that being said, we did decide to take a break on events post June. Just with some people that we're working with and the way that we do see LoveHeals expanding and growing a little bit. If we want to grow and expand well, we need to work on our foundation a little bit more. And we need to actually have the time to sit down with the people who are helping us build that structure, and we need to actually have those meetings, and we need to not be having those meetings and running to an event and then having those meetings and running to an event. So post June, finishing out our June commitment. So we have 2 more events in June, and then we will take a pause on events for the rest of the year, adding on any new events. Any events that we already had scheduled and locked in, we will absolutely be doing, but we'll be taking a pause on any new events. We are going to not do a tour this year. And that might come back, it might not. Either way, it was really fun. So the doc was really fun to watch, and I think that if we ever do a tour again, we like have a really good framework for it. But yeah, so we're going to take a little break on events, but we'll still be pushing out content. We'll still be doing the podcast. Season 3 of the podcast, I'm excited. We have a couple more episodes in season 2. We're going to have on some other guests, back into some guests post this episode. And then season 3, we're going to do a bit of a focus on our past storytellers and try to have each episode dedicated to sitting down with one of the storytellers that we've worked with and just getting their feedback, experience, more of their story, that kind of thing. So I'm excited for season 3. Yeah. Anything you want to add to the no more events post June? Thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
No, not currently, because originally I was nervous about that because I don't know how.
I'm still nervous about it.
To build structure. Because I have to test and try. I'm like a let's figure it out as we go person, which is how we've gotten to where we are now. But I do feel like we're at a spot now with the people who can see in and they can call things out before we get there. And I feel good about who we have in our corner. And I think there's still room to experiment. But what I'm excited about is learning how to build something not on you and not on me, but on a framework that anyone can use. And that'll be the focus for the back half of the year, is investment in sustainability and scalability. Investment in the future growth. I mean, LoveHeals was always meant to be something bigger than just Virginia. We've always wanted it to go everywhere, and it's never going to go everywhere if we have to be involved every step of the way. So it's time to step out of it for a little bit, look at everything we've done and really go to the drawing board and say, hey, here's how we're going to do this. And here's our core values here. And here's our interview process here. And here's our training process here. And here's our verification, validation, payout, process, policy. I mean, the whole thing. It's going to be a lot. But we have people who are ready to help us start to make those adjustments. I mean, we have some pretty cool offers on the table too, to start really solidifying some things.
Really good people who care about us and the organization, but like us in the organization. That want to sit down and go through stuff with us. I personally am this is so not dumb, but it is ridiculous that my brain is worried about this, but I'm worried about post June creating the structure to have those meetings. Like, I'm worried that we'll struggle to create the structure. Does that make sense? Like, because of the way that you and I function, I'm worried that we're going to like struggle to create the structure and calendar in which we need to finish out the year to create more structure and systems.
I think that we would if it weren't for people like Mickey, or honestly a person like Monica, or we have Rob, or we have Shika. Yeah. And we have Audra, and we have...
So it's not a crazy thing, right? Like,
no, that's why we haven't done it yet.
That's been one of my biggest stressors, is I'm like, yeah, we really need to do that stuff.
How?
We struggle to sit down and do that stuff.
Well, because we don't know where to start.
Well, and you and I are just like, do it, people.
Yeah.
So
that's why we haven't done it yet, because we weren't ready. And now I think just like, it's a little bit of a step of faith too. I mean, like
100%.
It's a step of faith, because we're going off, we'll be kind of not off radar. You'll see us out, but like we're going more behind the scenes now to come back with something that people can really use and like can actually be beneficial. So I'm excited to share more about what that's going to be and how that's going to look. But yeah,
I think we're just burned out enough,
ready to recharge.
Have to sit down,
get to the drawing board, pray, fast, ask God what he wants this to be, and like really listen and, you know, continue being open to meeting the right people who are going to help us. And like, honestly, what's crazy is we could take off the rest of this year and should, in a way, we still have plenty to do because 2027 will be here in no time. And the way that we're changing our structure, those events need to be planned now. So there is plenty to be doing. So it's finally time for us to start actually getting ahead so that we can be prepared and again, build on systems, not on us. So it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
The end.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right, well, one last shout out to Christine Avery for being our season 2 sponsor. If you guys are looking to buy or sell a home in the Lynchburg or Richmond area, she's your gal. She's also bilingual. So English and Spanish speaking clients.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I wish I was bilingual.
You could be.
Nah, it's too hard. I've tried. I took Spanish for 4 years.
Me too.
Retained nothing.
Right. You got to go live around it.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Well, guys, I'm outie.
Moving to Mexico.
Adios. Wait, come back. You're not done until I say you're done.
I'm ready to stand up.
Tell the people where they can find. I know you are, but we actually have to wrap it. So tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at weareloveheals.org. Don't mind the fact that the website is still blue and we're switching to pink, but give us a little more time. I'm working on that.
We are cooking something. Cooking. And we're about to head off to a branding meeting. So
yeah, we are
kind of
almost. We're getting there.
Close.
And you can shop our online merch store, and Heartbeat members, you guys get a discount. So if you're not a monthly donor,
I have a new design.
Yeah.
Some
cool stuff cooking.
Yeah.
We be cooking. So yeah.
Dude, you turned on the bear last night and that show gives me so much anxiety. Anyways.
Why did you say that?
I was cooking.
Okay.
Sorry. See, my brain is all over the place today. Thank you guys so much for watching and dealing with the rabbit trails from both of us all the time. And we will see you guys next episode. Maybe with a guest. Who do you want to see on next?
Me?
Yeah. Who's next? Stop doing that with your feet, please. Thank you.
Who is next? Taylor Swift.
Okay. No more serious answers, I guess, from Courtney.
That would be
Please
kind of
stop
cool
doing
though,
that with
wouldn't
your
it?
face on the
But
mic.
wouldn't that be
Thank you
really
guys.
cool?
We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.